The drama surrounding Emanuel Navarrete and Eduardo Núñez isn't just about a title defense. It isn't even just about a belt. It's about legacy colliding with hunger, experience staring down desperation, and two Mexican warriors stepping into the fire knowing only one walks out unchanged. On a charged night in San Diego, beneath the bright lights and the electric hum of a crowd expecting violence, the IBF Super Featherweight World title hangs in the balance. The atmosphere feels heavier than usual, not because of the gold on the line, but because of what it represents. For one man, it's another chapter in a career already etched into boxing history. For the other, it's the doorway to immortality. Emanuel Navarrete doesn't walk to the ring like a man unsure of himself. He moves with the quiet assurance of someone who has lived through the chaos before. A three-division world champion. A relentless force. A fighter who doesn't obey textbook rules because he never needed to. With 39 wins, 32 by knockout, and 16 appearances on the world title stage, Navarrete has built a career on controlled mayhem. He throws punches from angles that don't look natural. He breaks rhythm. He overwhelms. He doesn't simply outbox opponents. He drowns them. But beneath the numbers and the accolades, there's a question lingering in the air. How many miles are left on the engine? Navarrete has been in wars. Brutal, exhausting, punishing wars. He's taken shots that would fold lesser men. He's climbed divisions. He's faced elite competition. And while he's proven durable, even the toughest steel bends with time. Champions rarely fall all at once. They erode, little by little, until one night someone younger, fresher, and hungrier pushes them past the edge. That someone might be Eduardo "Sugar" Núñez. If Navarrete represents pedigree, Núñez represents urgency. 27 wins. 27 knockouts. A fighter whose record reads like a demolition report. He doesn't just win, he destroys. And while Navarrete carries the composure of a champion, Núñez carries something far more volatile. Nothing to lose. His rise hasn't been built on hype. It's been built on damage. His career-defining stoppage of former champion Shavkat Rakhimov didn't just put him in contention, it forced the division to pay attention. That night, Núñez didn't look like a prospect testing himself. He looked like a man breaking through a wall he'd been running toward his entire life. He kept coming forward, punch after punch, round after round. No hesitation, no doubt. And eventually, the former champion folded under the pressure. That victory made Núñez the mandatory challenger. But more importantly, it proved something else. He belongs here. This fight is a classic Mexican showdown, the kind that history remembers. There's no stylistic dance of evasion here. No cautious fencing match. Both men prefer offense. Both believe in pressure. Both trust their power. And when two pressure fighters meet, something has to give. Navarrete's unpredictability is his greatest weapon. He doesn't fight in straight lines. His jab snaps from awkward angles. His combinations arrive in waves that feel unstructured but are devastatingly effective. Opponents often struggle not because they can't see the punches, but because they can't anticipate when or where they're coming from. It's mental exhaustion before physical collapse. But Núñez doesn't rely on rhythm. He relies on force. He cuts off the ring with purpose. He invests in the body. He plants his feet and fires combinations with a kind of conviction that changes momentum in seconds. His aggression isn't reckless. It's assertive. When he senses weakness, he accelerates. And if he can trap Navarrete along the ropes and force exchanges, this fight becomes less about finesse and more about survival. The early rounds will tell us everything. Navarrete will likely test distance immediately, pumping his jab, circling, forcing Núñez to chase. He'll want to establish volume, to remind the judges and the challenger who controls the tempo. But Núñez cannot afford to follow blindly. If he allows Navarrete to dictate range, the champion's output could pile up quickly on the scorecards. For Núñez, the mission is simple in theory and brutal in execution. Close the distance, target the body, and make Navarrete uncomfortable. Slow those legs. Drain that gas tank. Make the champion feel the weight of every exchange. And here's where it becomes dangerous for both men. Navarrete has the deeper championship experience. He's been in 15-round atmospheres. He knows how to manage pacing. He understands how to survive rough patches. If this fight stretches into the championship rounds, his endurance and composure may become decisive. His punch output doesn't fade easily. He's proven he can maintain a relentless pace deep into fights, overwhelming challengers who started strong but couldn't sustain it. But Nunez's power is real. 27 knockouts are not cosmetic. They're evidence. If he lands clean while Navarrete is mid-combination, and Navarrete often leaves himself exposed during exchanges, the champion could be in serious trouble. A single well-timed counter can flip an entire narrative. One explosive moment can erase rounds of control. There's also a psychological war unfolding beneath the surface. Navarrete defends more than a belt. He defends reputation. He defends the perception that he is still the division's apex predator. Fighters who have climbed multiple weight classes and conquered elite opponents often carry invisible pressure, the pressure of expectation. Losing here wouldn't just cost him a title. It would spark conversations about decline. Nunez, on the other hand, fights for transformation. For him, this isn't routine. It's destiny knocking. A victory doesn't just elevate his ranking, it reshapes his career entirely. It turns him from contender to champion, from promising puncher to division leader. And history has shown us something dangerous. Fighters with nothing to lose are often the most lethal. There's a rawness to Nunez's hunger, a belief that this is his moment, that the miles on Navarrete's body matter, that youth and momentum can overcome experience. But hunger alone doesn't dethrone champions. Execution does. If Navarrete stays disciplined, if he controls the pace, if he avoids extended firefights in the early rounds, he can systematically break Nunez down. His volume could frustrate the challenger. His awkward angles could disrupt the timing. And by the middle rounds, that constant pressure might begin to chip away at Nunez's explosiveness. However, if Nunez successfully traps him, if he invests in the body early and forces Navarrete into exchanges where power outweighs volume, we could witness something seismic. Because for all his brilliance, Navarrete has shown vulnerability when stepping into chaos too willingly. This is what makes the fight so compelling. It isn't predictable dominance versus hopeless challenger. It's collision. It's risk meeting risk. Every exchange will carry tension. Every round will feel like it could shift the tide. And in a division hungry for clarity, this bout may determine who truly rules at 130 pounds. So what's the brutal prediction? Expect violence. Expect momentum swings. Expect both men to have moments, to survive danger and respond. If the fight extends past the midpoint, his volume and composure could edge him ahead on the cards or even break Nunez late. But don't blink early, because if Nunez lands something clean in those opening exchanges, if he forces Navarrete into a firefight before the champion has fully settled, an upset is not just possible, it's realistic. In the end, this feels like the kind of fight where legacy bends but does not break. Navarrete by late stoppage or hard-fought decision. The champion survives. The miles don't betray him. Not yet. But he will feel Nunez. And the division will feel Nunez too. Because even in defeat, a performance of aggression and courage could announce that the next era is coming. And that's what makes this more than a title fight. It's a warning shot. A measuring stick. A crossroads. Now I want to hear from you. Does Emanuel Navarrete prove he's still the king at super featherweight? Or does Eduardo Núñez shock the world and begin a new chapter in the division? Drop your prediction in the comments. Who wins, and how? If you enjoyed this full fight breakdown, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and stay locked in for more deep dive boxing stories. Because when ambition meets pedigree, history is never far behind.